I'm Gordon Zuckerman, thinking back about Congregation Gates of Heaven. My late wife and I were married in 1964 and married just over 50 years. When we were married here in Schenectady, we had joined a different synagogue, but joined the Mr. and Mrs. Club here at Gates of Heaven. We found Gates of Heaven to be a warm, welcoming Jewish community. I was brought up Orthodox, and my late wife was conservadox. And so we didn't feel that we wanted to join Gates of Heaven while we lived here in Schenectady. We then moved into Albany, but still joined and came to the different events here at Congregation Gates of Heaven. I was sent to Vietnam in 1968 to 1969, stationed in Da Nang. When I came back, frankly, my own rabbi in Albany, I don't think knew that I wasn't in Albany and had gone to Nam. Came here to the first Mr. and Mrs. Club in September, and Rabbi Zenis of blessed memory came over to me and welcomed me back to the area and said, "I'm glad to see you return safely." In 1977, we adopted our first daughter, and we asked if she could be named here. She was named on Memorial Weekend, Friday, and we had asked Rabbi Zenis if we could bring the baby on the bima, because they had not done that in a long time. He kiddingly said, "Yes, on one condition, I get to hold her," which he did do. It was a great celebration, and at the Onig, we were having a good time, invited people back to our home, when a friend of ours and a neighbor came in and said, got bad news, that my father-in-law had had a heart attack, his third one in Florida, and was dead on arrival. So naturally it went from a celebration to sadness. Rabbi Zenis said, "I will be in my study. If you need me, call." We went back to the house. I knew which hospital he would have been brought to in Miami. Called down there, mentioned that I had heard my father-in-law was DOA. They said, "No, actually he's up in ICU." Said, "Can I talk to my mother-in-law?" They said yes, but she's in emergency, having an asthmatic attack. The long and the short of it is the three of us, Linda, our daughter Miriam, and I, flew down to Miami the next morning, got to see my father-in-law in ICU, went back to the condo. He did die that night. Called the funeral director here in Albany, and he wanted to know which rabbi that we would like. I said, if Rabbi Zenis is available, we would like him, which he did officiate at my father-in-law's funeral. At that point, we turned to each other, Linda and I, and said, how could we not join? So in 1977, we joined Congregation of Gates of Heaven. Through the circle of life, so to speak, Gates of Heaven has been there for us. The naming of both of our daughters. My wife, Linda, was in the first bar and bat mitzvah adult class and the first confirmation class. Our daughters both were bat mitzvahed here and confirmed. Rabbi Zenis retired. We had Rabbi Bloom with our bat mitzvahs, etc., and again found that whenever we had a happy event or a need, the rabbis were here. And then we have Rabbi Cutler, who came, being quite involved for a while with the temple. Then at the death of my wife, again, Gates of Heaven, the community was there for the family. And Rabbi Cutler and the other people here did a great job for our shiva calls, etc. And so the question is, why would I give to a life and legacy program here at Gates of Heaven? The question is, why not? Knowing what they've done for my family and what they do for the Jewish families here and the community as a whole, I was able to make a life gift through our IRAs, and Linda was able to because I have an inherited IRA, and we are setting up a trust so that my dues, when I am no longer here and able to pay the dues, the family dues will continue to be paid to Congregation of Gates of Heaven.